Welcome back to CBS Mornings. We are very excited about our next guest, actor Terry Crews. He's got a new memoir out today called Tough: My Journey to True Power. It includes personal stories from his life and his quest to overturn stereotypes about what it means to be a man. Talks about toxic masculinity. We're going to get into that. You may know Crews from his decades-long career, including roles in Everybody Hates Chris, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and the cult classic movie White Chicks. And of course, before that, he played in the NFL, and he's also a businessman. What can't this guy do? He's got a lot going on. Terry Crews joins us here now, first on CBS Mornings. You know, when we go through that list, Terry, your life has been so impressive in so many ways, that you were able to come out of an abusive household, that you had these anger issues. You played in the NFL. You decide, I don't really like playing football. I'm going to go to Hollywood. Yeah. You become this successful actor. But you said that on the inside, you weren't really feeling all the success that you were showing people on the outside. Yeah. What was the catalyst to really change that?
My wife leaving me. When, you know, back in about 2010, what you have to understand, I was very, very successful. And that can be the warmest place to hide. All your issues, all your stuff, you hide behind the success because no one is going to tell you the truth. They're always going to tell you that you're awesome, you're great, you're wonderful. But I had all these things that were wrong with me. I had this rage that I could not stop, I could not control. And I mean, when I say not control, it was one of those things where any little slight, any little thing, I would go off.
Do? Yeah.
There was a long line of people that I had knocked out. Yeah. And my wife was like
physically knocked them out.
Physically, in the face.
The slightest little thing, yeah.
And you're like, and people were like, what? You know, he's such a nice guy. I can't rectify what this is. But I lived my life like I was in a revenge movie. You know what I mean? And I was going to get back anybody who ever did anything wrong to me. And it gets you a long way. It's a good motivator for a lot of men. But the problem is, you're left in a shambles. What works in the NFL is road rage in the real world. Yeah. Right. And it did not work for me.
And you open the book with a turning point moment where you have an incident with a guy on the street. You end up, I think, picking him up, slamming him on the ground.
Slamming him on his head on the concrete.
And why was that the moment where you said no more and you made a change?
Well, first of all, for me, I felt like I was doing what I was supposed to do as a man.
Protecting your wife.
And my wife pulled me to the side and said, no, stop. She said, never. You can never do this. She said, at the minimum, we're going to get sued. And at the maximum, because you have to understand, when I did this, the police came and had their hands on their guns.
You almost got arrested.
And they were about to shoot me. Not much more than arrest. Yeah. And she's like, look, you could get killed. Yeah. She's like, you have to promise me that you will never, ever react with violence again. And I did, to kind of stop, you know, to kind of calm the situation down, but she just had enough. It was too much.
Let's say kudos to Rebecca at this point. You two have been together a very long time, because you call it D-Day in your marriage, where you went to her and you said, I've been an infidelity and a porn addiction.
Yes.
And porn addiction for a lot of people, Terry, is still hard to understand. For some people, they believe it's just a pass for a guy who wants to screw around. Oh. What do you say about that?
Oh, well, first of all, you know...
You were very candid and very raw in this.
I do. It was a problem for me. Because, you know, people always talk about porn and they say, well, you know, if you're 18 and over, it's great. But I don't know one person who's discovered porn at 18. I was 9 years old, and I didn't know what I was looking at. I didn't understand. I had never had a conversation about sex with my parents. And I was looking at porn, I had access to porn, and it was changing me. It changed the way I saw people. I saw women as objects and people to be used rather than to be loved. And it really affected everything. I felt, just because I was a man, I was more valuable than all the women in my life. And all these feelings and these things really just permeated my life. So it allowed me to not listen to reason from my wife, to reason from the women in my life. And it caused me to really just risk everything.
But you said nobody ever really showed you how to be a man. And if a man is left to the fill in the blanks of how to become a man, that's never going to work.
Well, when I was a kid, I was trying to find out what being a man was all about. It was so hard because no one would tell me. I would go to an older man and I would say, what is this all about? And they're like, well, you're going to find out.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm 12 years old. Yeah. Like, can you please tell me something? So I made a pact with my best friend. I said, if I find out something before you do, I will tell you. And if you find out something before I know it, tell me.
Yes.
We're parenting ourselves.
It's like the blind leading the blind, though, Terry, on
Well,
this.
and that's the thing. And if you're taking all of your guidance on how to be a man from the society around you, you're going to get the message that being a man means taking it, being tough, vengeance when it's required. And you've made a turn away from all those things. How did you do that?
First of all, therapy. Now, you have to understand another thing.
Say that again.
Therapy.
Yeah.
Well, you got to
say it together.
In my community, I have to say it was one of those things where the term was you can't cure crazy.
Yeah.
And therapy was goofed up. It was crazy. They're going to make you crazy. They're going to So I had this conception of therapy as being quackery.
Yeah.
And so
or weak.
Right. Or weak or any. So you had to show your vulnerability in therapy, and I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And when my wife left me, and it was so wild because I had the best advice I ever got was from a friend. He said, "Hey man, I can't promise you're going to get your wife and family back, but you have to get better for you." And I was like, what? Yeah. And I went into therapy and I started to dissect everything about me. And this is the thing I want to get the message that this book is going to send is that you are assembly required. This is the way you come. It's not that, oh man, I'm just me and I can be all right. No, no, no. You have to piece your life together the way you want it. Because this is the thing, if you don't do it, other people are going to be assembling you.
Yeah.
You know what I like, too, in the book? You say it's not about getting forgiveness, it's about making amends. A lot of people miss the part about the amends part.
That's right. You know, we're in a culture now where it's my bad, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You can't hit someone with your car and just be like, my bad.
I'm sorry.
And this is what I did to my wife. This is what I did to my family. And when you damage them the way I damaged them, you have to stand by there. You have to wait for the police to show up. You have to wait for the ambulance to show up. You got to put them in the ambulance. You got to take care of them. And let me tell you, the therapy and the years and the work that went into this, I had to totally destroy the marriage as it was and rebuild it brick by brick, and we did it. We did it.
Is Terry Crews all good today? Because listen, we see you on TV. You seem to be this.
See that smile?
Megawatt smile.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I used to be.
Is this for real, Terry Crews?
It's for real. Well, first of all, what's so refreshing, because I go there in this book. I
really do.
Put everything out there, but this is the thing. I had external success that never matched my internal success. And I was two people. Now the internal has met with the external, and now I'm one person. And this is the world knows way more about me than I know about them, but that's refreshing to me. Actually, it's to really let people know that they're not alone and that they don't have to go. It's like Terry Crews was not born rich and born as a star and all this stuff. It's work.
But it's that vulnerability that really helps people see that in themselves, too.
And I love you keep a picture of your little 6-year-old self on your desk.
Well, that's for forgiveness. Because this is the thing, when you keep that picture.
Oh, there he is.
I used to think I was bad. I used to think you're a bad person, you're this. No, is that kid bad? No, he's not.
No.
And let me tell you, at no time in my life did I stop being that little boy.
Terry, it's really good.
It is really
and
good.
appropriately named Tough, My Journey to True Power, really.
Thank you.
Because being tough is, showing vulnerability is a form of being
tough. Well, he says
inside.
it really hurts to grow. You have to be tough.
That's right.
Gotta grow.
I had the definition all wrong.
Yeah.
I had the ability to throw punches was tough. Now the ability to take them and really endure. That's the true definition of tough.
Great lessons.
You could take this lesson to some other people, too.
I have a list.
I'm mentioning no name.
We'll talk after.
Yes, I have a list, too.
Terry Crews, thank you so much. Tough goes on sale today wherever you like to buy your books.